My name is Caroline, and for my presentation, I decided to do police reform and how algorithms in our society play a part in how police make arrests. How police use algorithms is they use them in many ways. Our judicial system uses algorithms in many ways, involving mathematical equations, and those are used in our judicial system. Judges will use math in order to make sentences longer for perpetrators. Police use a tactic called micro-targeting, which is essentially a discriminatory tactic used to police certain areas with higher crime rates. To support this, I found a study that was being conducted by the University of Michigan Center for Local, State, and Urban Policy and Poverty Solutions. This is with the Ford School of Public Policy. The study was conducted to analyze attitudes about certain criminal justice reforms. This polling was done by Michigan's local government officials, and they are polling they're trying to get answers surveyed from law enforcement and government officials to see their attitudes about criminal justice reform. It is mentioned in this article that the survey will not be released until April of next year. But it is said that Michigan has taken action into creating police reform, one being their traffic laws. There is now in place a policy where police cannot make traffic stops for discriminatory reasons, such as broken headlights, window tints, or loud engines. It is said that criminal justice reforms in New York State, where people are charged with misdemeanors and nonviolent felonies, can be released without bail, the following trial that they have. Another reform would be law enforcement will have to disclose evidence to the defense within 15 days of indictment rather than just a short time after. These reforms raised concern with New York State Police Commissioner James O'Neill. He expressed the reform would negatively impact public safety. An upcoming police commissioner, Demont Shea, in New York City also expressed this. An example of prosecutors actively opposing the reform in New York is Prosecutor Training Institute for Police in New York State issued a recording. They found a recording of the Nassau County Assistant District Attorney directing police to use tactics that overturn the principle of the reform. Prosecutors and police unions of the state in New York City think the reform is wrong and needs to be repealed. In support of this, I found an article that people who have advocated for people who are indicted on nonviolent drug offenses, they used examples of these offenders and how long their sentences would be and what their bail would be if reforms were put into place. However, the estimated length of sentencing would not be a reality for the men that were indicted, because according to the author, the justice system has a fixation on final lengths of sentences for perpetrators. The author also discussed in this what is described as the most hopeful chance of prison reform. Compassionate release is given to nonviolent offenders who show good behavior while incarcerated. In conclusion, the use of algorithms and micro-targeting could also affect police in making arrests for major crimes in other areas than just high crime rate areas. The use of algorithms in making arrests is harmful because historically people of color and those in minorities face systematic oppression when it comes to police. And there's no economic mobility for people who are in these high crime rate areas because most of the time these areas are places that experience high rates of poverty. The racial profiling of minorities in law enforcement has increased mental illness in people who are in minorities. This has also affected minorities in our country for a very long time, since before the civil rights movement. Police brutality and taking advantage of the justice system to not protect minorities has been a problem.